Hi, I'm Miss O'Connors. This is my third grade classroom here at Sandston Elementary School, and today we're going to be doing a review on some fractions. Okay, so today, guys, we are going to start with our number talk, and I want you to look at this image, and I want you to look at the two pictures and think in your head what is alike about them and what could be different. So I want you to take some time to think about that in your head. You can use your whiteboard if you need to. And remember, this is how we show we're thinking. And when we have our answer, we can put our thumb on our chest, all right? So how are these images alike and how are they different? See, Miko's showing me she's thinking. I see some friends using their whiteboards. And take about 10 more seconds, maybe 20. How are they alike and how are they different? All right, let's share with our tables first. How do we think these images are alike and how are they different? What do you guys think? How could they be?
They have the same colors.
Okay, they have the same colors.
I think they're different because this one's one third and this is a different color.
Okay.
When you add them all together, it's 11.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so you're seeing them as like rows. They're kind of similar. Okay, good. Let's come back in 3, 2, and 1. All right, who wants to raise their hand and share? How do we think these images are alike? First, let's start with how they're alike, okay? What's one they're alike, Jordan?
Because it's alike because that 1/3 and that one and that 36. And if you look at the first one, like the line thingy, it's gonna be just like 1/3.
Okay, so Jordan was looking at it as a fraction, and you were saying that you see that this is 1/3, and you said that this was 1/3 too?
No, the top one.
Okay, so you were looking at this row. This row was 1/3, like how this one was 1/3? Okay. Who else wants to share? How are these images alike, Kai?
Well, if you add 6 more to that one, it can make the same amount of how much that is.
Okay, so if we added 6 more circles here, they would both have the same amount of circles? Okay. What else do we notice? Leah?
They're different because they have different fractions. For these shaded in, actually, these not shaded in, it's 3/9.
Okay.
For these not shaded in, it's 1/3.
Okay, so Leah said that this fraction is 1/3, and she said this fraction was 3/9. Did anyone else notice that? Some people notice it? All right, let's take one more person to share. Cameron?
Like, the reason that one's running 3/9 the whole fraction is 9. Half of it is red. Half of it is red. That's 6.
Okay.
And the yellow on that side is 3, and 1/3 because there's 3 dots, and 2 of them are red and 1 of them are yellow, and
Okay, so you're explaining to us like how so you're saying you agree with Leah?
yeah, and like
Okay.
that one has like more dots and this one has less dots.
Okay. What if I told you guys we could also say this image has 1/3 yellow, just like this image? Did anyone think that could be possible? Oh, I see Marshall. Marshall, why do you think that could be true?
Because all you do is multiply by 3 the first image to get the second image.
Okay, so you were doing some multiplying. I want to ask you guys, what if I took these 9 circles and I wanted to make 3 equal groups where I kept all the yellows in the same group. I want you to think with your table, how can I group them? If I want 3 groups with all the yellows in the same group, how can I group them? What do you think? How could I group them to make 3 equal groups? Could I circle them sideways?
Sideways, because
Uh-huh.
that's kind of what you're talking about.
Uh-huh. Okay. Uh-huh. Good. Okay. All right, let's come back in 3, 2, and 1. Does anyone want to come up and try to circle these to put them in 3 equal groups? Let's see. Leah, do you want to come and try to circle those for us? Remember, we want to keep the yellows in the same group together. Ooh, was anyone else thinking to group them like that? Good. So now, if we look at these groups, right? We have 3 groups in all, and of these groups, how many are completely yellow? Show me with your finger, how many of these groups are completely yellow? Good, 1 of them, right? So out of these groups, there's 3 in all, and 1 is yellow, okay? So we're gonna do some more practice with fractions of a set like that, and we're gonna have some riddles, all right? So you can take a second to erase your boards, all right? And I am going to show you some squares up on the board, and we got to read the clues to figure out how we need to color in each of the squares, okay? So I'm going to show you our first one, and I want you to take a second to just look over the clues, look at the squares, and let's see, what's something that we notice while looking at these? What's something you notice, Miko?
I noticed that there's a key
Okay.
of some colors, and it says color 1/4 red,
Mm-hmm.
color 1/4 yellow,
Mm-hmm.
color 1/4 blue, and color 1/4 green.
Okay, so Miko read our clues, right? And it's asking us to color 1/4 of each of these a different color. So if we're looking, who wants to tell me, how many tiles do we have? How many tiles do we have, Kai?
We have 4.
We have 4, right? So if we have 4 tiles and we want to color 1/4 red, how many tiles do you think I should color in red? How many should I color in red, Hunter? 1, exactly. So I could take my red and color it in, okay? Now, our next clue is we need to color 1/4 yellow. So this is where I want you guys to use your tiles. So you all have foam tiles on your table. Wait, don't touch them yet. You gotta listen to my instructions, okay? I want you to take out how many tiles we should color yellow. So if you think I should color 1 square yellow, take out 1 tile. If you think I should color 2, take out 2. Okay, so now you can take out the tile. Show me, how many tiles should I color yellow? You can just lay it on your whiteboard. Yep. So you can each use 1. Yep, so. Okay, ooh, I love how Genesis laid hers out. Good. We need 1 yellow tile. I want you to try it with the blue and the green tiles. How many blue tiles do you think we need? And how many yellow tiles? Or blue, yeah, blue and green. Oh, I see Xander has them placed down, and he's even writing his fractions. Good, so how many tiles are we going to color blue? Cameron?
Thank you.
How many tiles are we going to color blue? Yeah, 1. Good job. How many tiles are we going to color green, Sarai? 1, exactly. All right. Do you think we're ready for something a little bit trickier?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right, you guys can move those tiles back in the bucket for now. All right, and you can show me you're ready to be good listeners for our next problem. Oh, I see Marshall's ready. All right. Now, what do we notice about these now? What do you notice, Marshall?
There's 2 times as many tiles as the first.
Okay, so there's 2 times as many, right? There was 4 before, and now there's 8. What about our clues? Have our clues changed at all? Have they changed at all, Miko? No, they haven't, right? So it says color 1/4 red. Does that mean can I just do this? Is this 1/4?
No.
No. What? Who wants to tell me why is this not 1/4? Why is it not 1/4, Cameron?
Because there's 1/4.
Uh-huh.
Then there would just be 4 tiles,
Mhm.
but they added 4 more, which is 8, and then basically there's not 1/4, so
Yeah.
it's like 1/8.
Exactly. This would be 1/8. How can I make these? We can think about, right, our number talk from earlier. How can I make these into 4 equal groups? What could I do, Jordan?
You could color. So you see that you already colored the top one.
Uh-huh.
Probably you color the same one at the bottom.
Oh, you think I should color the same one as the bottom? What do we think? Do people agree with that? Okay. So are you kind of saying like this is a 1/4 group?
Yeah.
Okay. So if I wanted to color 1/4 yellow now, I want you guys to show me with your tiles on the board. What would our grouping of 1/4 being yellow look like?
Oh, I think I'm ready.
Okay, I see. Let's see, I saw on Genesis' board, she did this. Is this what you did or did you have something different? Yeah, okay. So let's see if we can do the rest with our green tiles and our blue tiles. Try it with your green tiles and your blue tiles. All right, remember, lay them out on your board like you would with the tiles, right? Okay, but remember, you want to make your grouping so all the ones of the same color are in the same group. Good, so I saw us do this. Good. So if this was what you had on your board, you can pat yourself on your back and just move the tiles to the side for now. All right. Let's see who's showing me that they're ready for the next one. Ooh, I see my friends at the back table are showing me they're ready. All right, let me get rid of this. All right. Now this one's going to be a little harder. Do you think we're ready?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Our hints changed up on us a little, right? So what's our first clue? Does anyone want to read this for us? Marshall, what's our first clue?
Color 2/8 yellow.
Okay, so if we're going to color 2/8 yellow, who wants to tell me how many tiles should I make yellow on here? How many should I make yellow? Hunter?
2.
2, exactly. I'm going to make 2/8 yellow. Now I want you to show me on your board how many tiles should I make blue. So you can talk with your table mates if you need to. How many tiles should be blue? What do you guys think?
I think we should do 6 blue and 2 yellow.
Okay.
Because 2/8 true. Let's do 3 of those boards would be like this, and 2/8 would be like this.
Good. Okay.
Samara, what do
What-
you think? Do you agree with this? Yeah.
What are you guys thinking?
So he said, probably we could do, she said, we could do 3, 4, 4. Or the next day we can do 1/2 of the blue.
Okay. All right. Well, remember, we want to do 3/4 of the tiles blue. So how many tiles would be 3/4?
2. 2, 3. Then 2.
Well, let's look at it up on the board. All right, guys. So I was talking to Marshall's table, and they were telling me that they knew that this is 2/8 yellow, but you could also look at it as 1/4 yellow, right? So if we were to split the rest of them up as fourths, we would go like this, right? And so if we wanted 3/4 of them to be blue, how many blue tiles would we need in all? How many blue tiles would we need in all, Kai?
6.
6, right? So I want you guys to take a second, and I want you to try to lay those 6 tiles out to make sure we can see our 2/8 yellow and our 3/4 blue, okay? I want you guys to make that on your board before we move on.
There's no more blue.
Looks like we just about got it. So we can clear our boards, put our tiles to the side, and show me we're ready for our next problem. Okay. See, I'm looking for eyes up here. Show me you're ready to listen. Okay. This is our last one, okay? So what do we notice that's different about this one? What do you notice, Kai?
That it's 4. Well, no, it's 8.
Mm-hmm.
But they're all connected
Together, right? The previous fractions were set model fractions, right? Because they're separated. And this is an area model, so it looks kind of like our chocolate bar, right? And we have some different clues, okay? So our first one says color 1/2 of the tiles yellow. So I want you to talk with your table. How many is 1/2 of this fraction? How many tiles would be 1/2?
So if I split this off from tiles, brownie, I would color in 1 of the 2.
So if we were to color in half of this shape, how many tiles would we need to color in? Okay. Why do you guys think Leah said 4? Okay.
and the other 2, and like color them up.
Okay.
Color 4.
Okay, so you're saying you're telling me 4 is half of 8?
Okay. This is 1, 2.
Okay, good.
Denominator is 2.
I see some people laid it out on their whiteboards too. Who wants to raise their hand and tell me what's half? How many tiles would be half of this fraction? How many tiles would be half of this fraction? Let's see. I know I heard this table. Does someone at this table want to volunteer? Leah, how many? 4, right? Because we think, how many squares do we have in all?
8.
8, right?
Half of 8 is 4.
Exactly. Half of 8 is 4. So we can go ahead and color in 1/2 of our fraction yellow. Now, our next hint wants us to color in 3/8 blue. 3/8 blue. So if we were going to make 3/8 blue, how many tiles do you think we'll need? I want you guys to show me on your fingers. How many tiles do you think we'll need? Good. We'll need to color 3 in blue. And then show me on your finger, how many are we going to color in green? Good. We'll color 1 in green. Okay. Do you feel like you guys are ready to try some with your table?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. So you can erase your whiteboards for now and just turn your attention up to the board. Okay. And you guys are going to be working with your table groups on these little fraction books, okay? So you're going to use your tiles and your crayons. So I put crayons on everyone's table. And you're just going to read through. These clues are really similar to the ones we did on the board, right? So they'll tell you how to color in each of our shapes, right? This one says you got to color in 1/3 blue, 1/3 red, and 1/3 yellow, right? So here's what I would suggest you do. Before you color them in, I would use our tiles to make sure we're coloring the right things, right? So if I wanted to make 1/3 of these blue, how many should I make blue?
1.
1, right? So I can lay my blue in here. How many should I make red? Miko? Oh, 1. How many should I make yellow? 1, right? So once I see that that fits, then I could take them away and then use my colors to color them in, okay? Does anyone have any questions about this? Jordan? You're going to work through the book, okay? And you're going to work with the people at your table, all right? Yes, Jordan? What do you do when you're done?
Just wait.
Yeah, I'll have some work for you when we're done.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. I need one person to pass out our fraction books. You skipped a page. You skipped a couple of pages. Yep, remember what I said that you want to lay your tiles out first to make sure it makes sense. It tells you what colors. Yep. That's okay. All right. what, Marshall?
Sorry?
I would say that's more purple. Yeah. All right, y'all. We gotta open our book, right?
How much time, Kyle? Oh, you are done.
Good. I love how you're laying out your tiles first, Genesis. How's it going, y'all?
I don't need this. Yeah, this
Good. Oh, what? Ah, looks like you're doing good. That looks red. Some might be similar, right? But it gets a little tricky with these ends.
Yellow?
Again, these are different, silly. Yes, they are the same colors, that's true.
I think this
Yes. Uh-huh. Good. All right, good. You set them up right. Now you just gotta color it to match. All right, I think you're good on that one, right? You can start the next one. Mm-hmm. Are there the same amount of circles?
So I think
Oh, that's okay.
here, here.
Well, let's see. This is 1/3 blue, right? So if this is 1/3 blue, how would we make 1/3 red? Mm-hmm. There you go.
That would make it fair.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Just like we have cookies for sharing.
Mm-hmm.
And I gave you 4. And I gave morning Miss Green. And I gave myself 6 down.
Uh-huh. There you go. Okay. And if we were gonna make 1/4 red, how many would be red? There you go. Good. Thank you so much for watching. We are
3 constellations, 1 galaxy.